Hi, welcome to this video class. This is Pravina here to teach you class 7 science lesson 4 heat. So in the last videos you have seen that how the body temperature is measured by using a clinical thermometer, and also how the laboratory thermometer is used to measure the temperature of other objects. So in this video you are going to learn how the transfer of heat takes place from one object to the another object and what are those conditions called as. So here goes our topic: transfer of heat. Yes. You, in a general observation, that you might have observed that when you keep a pan over the stove, you will see that the heat, it is because of the flame that is given from below the pan, it is being absorbed by the pan. So here the heat is transferring from the flame to the bottom of the pan. So is there any transfer of heat here from flame to the pan? Yes, the pan becomes hotter. In the sense, the heat from the flame is being absorbed by the pan. And when this pan, when you just take it out from the flame and keep it aside, you can see that it becomes cool after some time. The reason is that the hotness of that pan is being given out to the surrounding. So what can you observe? What are you observing there? The heat is being transferring from one to another. When you keep the pan over the stove, the heat from the flame is reaching the pan. When you keep the pan away from the flame, the heat from the pan is moving on to the surrounding. So what is taking place here? There is a transfer of heat. So can we say that the heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object? Yes. Yes. So here in this experiment, by this experiment, it will be clear that the heat, it just flows from a hotter object to a colder object. So for this experiment, you have to take a rod of iron or aluminium and clamp to the stand. If the stand is not available, you just keep them between the two bricks as in the figure. Now towards the one end of the rod, you just light a candle and place it below the rod, and to the rod you have to keep some wax pieces. Okay, so and see that they are maintained at equal, they are placed at equal distances. Now you can see, you'll observe that the end of the rod which is near to the flame, so in this picture you can see, right? So when the flame, it just iron rod is getting heated, the one end of the iron rod which is near to the flame, it is getting heated up. Now slowly the wax piece which is near to the flame, it starts melted and it falls down, and it just goes on. In the sense, the second clump of wax which is placed behind that will start melting down. In such a way, there is a transfer of heat from one end to the another end, that is from the hotter end to the colder end. So always the heat transfers from hotter object to the colder object. So from this activity, it is clear that the heat always transfers from hotter object to the colder object. So here when the rod is burned, so the rod which is near to the flame, it is getting heated first, then the wax pieces which are attached to it starts melting down and they fall down. So it goes on in such a way. So the heat always, it just flows from hotter object to a colder object. So this process of heat transfer, the process by which heat is transferred from hotter end to the colder end of an object, is known as conduction. So what do you mean by conduction? So in the process of conduction, the heat transfer takes place from hotter object to a colder object. So as we have seen in the earlier activity, the heat is transferred by the process of conduction, which always transfers from hotter end to the colder end. Then, is that all the materials allow the heat to pass through them easily? Yes. So for this activity, you just take a beaker full of water and try to add few objects in that, such as your steel spoon, pencil, scale, or iron rod. So whatever the objects that which are available to you, you take those objects and try to put them in water and try to heat it. So now you will find that few objects they are heat enough. When you touch them, they are heat, while some other are cool. In the sense, only few objects are allowing the heat to pass through them, whereas few other objects are not allowing the heat to pass through them. So those materials which allow the heat to pass through them easily are called as conductors. So mostly the most familiar examples are aluminium, iron and copper. So these metals, they allow the heat to pass through them, so they are called as conductors. Whereas there are few other materials which do not allow the heat to pass through them easily, or they are called as poor conductors of heat. So those objects which do not allow the heat to pass through them are known as insulators, and the examples for insulators are pencil, wooden table and scale. So the process of conduction is that which allow the heat to transfer from hotter object to colder object, and those objects or those materials which allow the heat to pass through them are called as conductors, and those objects which do not allow the transfer of heat from them are called as poor conductors of heat, or they are also known as insulators. Okay, so all the other objects, they help in the transfer of heat. Yes, but what about water and air? Are they also the conductors of heat? Yes, they are also the conductors of heat, but they are called as poor conductors of heat. Even water and air also conducts the heat in them, but they are the poor conductors of heat. So with this experiment, we can prove that the air or water are the conductors of heat. So for this, you have to take a round bottom flask as such and fill it 1/4 with water, and from below you have to start giving the flame to it. You have to keep that round bottom flask on a flame. Place it on a tripod stand, and if possible you can even place a candle below that, giving flame to that. Okay, so now when this is done, and to this round bottom flask you add 2 or 3 pieces of potassium permanganate crystals, which are violet in color. So you have to take a round bottom flask, fill it with 1/4 of water and add 3 or 4 potassium permanganate crystals to it, and place it on a tripod stand, and you just start giving the flame from below. Now you allow the water to get heated. So now the water which is near to the flame, first it gets heated. So this warm water, once it gets heated, it goes up. Okay, so now the water from the sides of the beaker, it starts coming down. So how the process it goes on? So the water which is present below, it just goes up in this way, and the water which is present towards the sides of the beaker, it comes down towards the flame. And this process of movement of water, it continues till the entire water in the beaker gets heated. So see here, when water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. The hot water rises up, and the cold water from the sides, they move down towards the heat. So this mode of heat transfer is known as convection. So the process of heat transfer in water, it takes place through a process known as convection. Yes, then how the process of heat transfer takes place in air? So here is another activity to know the heat transfer in air. So here you have to place a lighted candle and place one hand above the candle and one hand beside the candle. So in the picture you can see how you have to place the hands, one which is above and one you have to keep towards the side of the candle. So now you can see that the hand which is present above the candle gets heated. So you can feel the heat of the hand which is placed above the candle. Okay, so the reason for this is, so the air which is present very near to the flame, it's get heated up fast, and this heated air, it just moves up. So the warm air, it moves up first. Then the air which is present beside that come and occupy that space, empty space. So here the air, the warm air is just moving up. So it is due to that reason the hand which is placed above the candle, it gets heated first. And while doing this activity, you just keep your hands at a safe distance from the flame so that they do not get burnt. Okay, and this process of transfer of heat by air is also through the process of convection. So the process of transfer of heat in water and in air, it takes place through the process of convection. So the air or water which are present near the flame, they get heated first and they just rises up. And the air which is cooler, it just come and occupy that empty space and gets heated. So the process of transfer of heat is by convection, that which takes place in water and air. So the people who are living in coastal regions, they just meet a strange phenomena, they experience a strange phenomena. Yes, as we have seen earlier through the process of convection, how the air which is near to the flame gets heated. So when it gets heated, it rises up and that empty space will be occupied by the cool air from the sides. In the same way here, in the picture you can see the daytime and during the night time. So during the daytime, the land, it gets heated faster when compared to the water. So the air which is present over the land surface, as it gets heated, it rises high up. Okay, and that air, it moves towards the seaside. So this empty space over the land is occupied by the air which comes from the seaside. So here the air which is present during the daytime, as the land get heated faster when compared to that of the water, the air on the land, it just rises high up and just move towards the sea, and the cool air from the seaside, it starts moving towards the land. So this is known as sea breeze. It is due to that reason the people who are living in the coastal regions, they construct the houses in such a way the windows face towards the sea. It is due to that reason in the morning times they feel cool. Okay, so this is known as sea breeze. In the same time, during the night time, the water, it just during the night time, the water, it just cools down very slowly so that the air from the land move towards the sea. This is known as land breeze, and this mostly experienced by the people who are living in the coastal regions. So sea breeze and land breeze. During daytime you can see sea breeze, and during the night time you can see the land breeze. Yes, when you people come out in the sun, you feel warm. Yes, then how do that heat come to us? So what is that process called as? So how does the heat from the sun reaches us? So from the sun, the heat comes to us by another process known as radiation. All hot bodies radiate heat. So here the heat, it just directly, there is no any mediator in between for that heat to absorb by us, right? So there is no any medium present in between the sun and the human body here to receive that heat. So no medium is required for the process of radiation. As when the heat that comes out from the sun in the space, as there is no air, right? But here the sun heat is reaching the earth surface. In the sense, there is for the process of radiation, there is no requirement of medium in between. So all hot bodies radiate heat. So that process where the sun, from the sun the heat comes to us by the process which is known as radiation. So when this heat falls on some object, a part of it is getting reflected and part of it is getting absorbed, and the part of it may be getting transmitted. So the complete heat which is just given out by the radiated body is not being absorbed by the object. Only few amount of that is being absorbed, few of them is getting reflected, and few of that is getting transmitted from one object to the another object. So here is an activity to prove that. So here there are two containers which are coated. One container is coated black and the another container is coated white. So here you have to take water in both the containers. Now place these containers for 2 or 3 hours under the sun so that they face towards the sun. Now after that, you try to check the temperature of both the beakers. You can do that with your hand, and which among the both or the water present in which container is hotter and which container is colder. And you observe that the water which is present in the black coated container is hotter when compared to the water which is present in the white coated container. The reason is that as the black coated container, as the black is a dark color, it absorbs more amount of heat, so that the water which is present in the first container is hot when compared to the white coated container. In the same way, now you just boil the water for about 60 degrees Celsius and place these two containers. In the sense, both the containers should consist of water which is being boiled for about 60 degrees. Okay, so both of them will have an equal temperature. Both the water which are placed in two different containers will have the same temperature. Now place these two containers in some cold place. Okay, it just keep inside the house, and after 15 to 20 minutes you just test the temperature which among the two containers still retains the heat of the water. You will again observe that as the black coated container, as it absorbs more amount of heat, it retains the so the water which is present in the first container, black coated container, remains hot when compared to the white coated container. The reason is that all the dark colored substances, they absorb more amount of heat, whereas the light colored substances, they reflect the heat. So it is due to that reason during the summer season we prefer to wear light colored cloths. It is because the light colored cloths reflect the heat. It is due to that reason we feel cool. Okay, so mostly we prefer to wear cotton cloths during the summer season, as they are light in color, they reflect most of the light. But whereas during the winter season you prefer to wear dark colored cloths, as in the activity we have seen, the dark colored container is absorbing more amount of heat. So in winter we wear dark colored cloths. It is due to the reason that they absorb more amount of heat, and it just these cloths, woolen cloths, they just keep us warm. So dark colored objects absorb more heat than the light colored objects. So we feel more comfortable in light colored cloths in the summer and dark colored cloths in winter. So this is how the process of transfer of heat takes place. So the three different processes such as conduction, convection and radiation. Might you have understood the lesson? Thank you.